Hello, geeks! I've searched through my memory banks, and I've discovered the reason for the robot uprising. And
you've got to stop thinking of her as a real child.
Small Wonder is a TV show from my childhood that when I talk to friends about it, they're like, what are you on? What are you talking about? I don't remember this show. Sometimes if I get specifics on the show, they're like, oh, that's what that show is? But they don't really remember that much of the show. It's a show that first aired in 1985 and ran until 1989 for 4 seasons. The basic premise is the father of the family works as a robotics engineer, and he had an idea for a therapy robot, AI, that looked like a child and was built for children's therapy. The higher-ups in the company did not see the potential of such a project and closed it down. The father decided that he was going to pursue this project anyways and work on it at home on the side. He doesn't want his project to be taken away, and he wants to see if the robot can blend in and be perceived as a child not only by adults, but also by children. His creation was Vicky. Now, rewatching the show felt a lot like I was watching an episode of Bewitched. It has the annoying, over-the-top laugh track, the nosy neighbors, and has the typical family dynamic of mother, father, and a child. After watching the complete series, I went back and looked and found out that the reason why I felt like this was Bewitched is because it was actually created by the creator of Bewitched in the first place. And he seemed to bring a lot of Bewitched into this show. It was kind of like he was trying to update his old creation. Instead of having a witch, he had an AI. And if you were wondering if this show holds up, let me tell you, it does not. There is a lot of male chauvinism, especially by the father, who belittles his wife a lot. And even her lines make her feel like she's a dumb blonde. Please note, I don't think all blondes are dumb. But the show seems to have that stereotype of the blonde housewife. When the husband comes home and he's like explaining all these high technical terms, she's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. We also learn in a later episode that the wife actually stopped going to college because she got married. And that was the thing to do. And it kind of makes sense when you look back at history, because women, although they had the right to vote already, they didn't really have equal rights until about 1970s, when legislation went into effect that women could no longer be discriminated against in the workplace. But rewatching it now, it kind of just feels wrong about how the husband is treating the wife. They also have a lot of fat shaming in this show, especially towards the next door neighbor. And nowadays, fat shaming is really looked down on, and adding a laugh track to the fat shaming just makes it worse. Speaking of the laugh track, it is so over the top that the first several episodes, because of the laugh track, I so wanted to stop watching. But in the name of YouTube, I watched the complete series, and I'm not sure if I got used to the laugh track again, or if they got better about not making it so loud and obnoxious in later episodes and seasons. In addition to the laugh track getting better, the putting down of the wife in the series also improved. Basically, how this change came about was the nosy neighbors discovered that Vicky wasn't going to school, and a social worker was sent out. This caused the family to have to adopt Vicky. The family was worried if they sent Vicky to school, it would be discovered that she is a robot. So the mother went back and got her teacher's license so she could teach Vicky at home. Episodes later, substitutes were needed at their son Jamie's school, so she became a substitute teacher. And once this change happened, the dynamics of the family changed a little. The father actually helped out around the house more, or at least tried to. He stopped looking down on his wife's intelligence as much. In the last season, the wife actually became more assertive and demanding of, this is what needs to go on. Now, untypical of an 80s show, the morals are kind of sort of skewed a little. The son Jamie would often come up with these schemes and get himself into trouble. But instead of getting grounded, a lot of times the parents either got him out of it or helped him. In this one episode, he decided to start a burrito business because Vicky found the best recipe for burritos. And he charged 10 cents a burrito for kids at school. And then he got a big order. And this is when the parents found out that he was having this business. Then they got the bill for all the food that he was buying on their charge card to finance the business. And instead of grounding him, they're like, well, instead of making 200 burritos tonight, let's make 400 burritos tonight, and maybe we'll break even. And I'm like, really? This is the lesson that they want the kids to learn, is come up with a crazy scheme and your parents will get you out of it. And I don't think that they'd actually show something like this nowadays as well. Small Wonder does not hold up today. There were times I'm like, I should just stop watching the series, record this episode explaining why it didn't hold up, and then get on with my life. But again, in the name of YouTube, I got through all 4 seasons. I did start writing the script before I was finished with the entire series. And when I originally wrote the intro, the joke about it being the cause of the robot apocalypse, I was actually talking about the quality of the show. But in seasons 3 and 4, we can see why this show caused the robot rebellion. First off, the father, Ted Lawson, would always go to his wife and be like, why are you doing this? We have a robot. Make her do it. You should be resting, relaxing, enjoying life. Make the robot do it. And when the wife was like, I don't want to treat Vicky like that. She's so childlike. And I love her like she's my child. The dad's like, she's just a robot. That kind of attitude, I think, started the process of the robot rebellion. And not only does he treat her like a material item, he also tries to replace her not once, but twice, with an upgrade that he called Vanessa. Now, Vanessa was truly evil. She was more human, but she had like all the bad qualities of a child and none of the good. It's like a yin and yang. And after he initially created Vanessa, he threatened to disassemble Vicky once the testing was done with Vanessa. But after Vanessa did her best to take over the household, he decided that he should disassemble Vanessa instead. Vanessa hears about this, tricks Vicky into pretending to be Vanessa, and then he disassembles Vicky twice. Luckily, he didn't erase Vicky totally and was able to reassemble her and get rid of Vanessa. But there's no knowing if he recreated her after season 4 ended, and we're all going to be taken over by Vanessa. Then, after the whole Vanessa fiasco, he created Les, an artificial intelligence that he did not give a body to, but it was programmed with emotion. Les taught Vicky these emotions, and they fell in love. They got so connected that Les did not want anybody else to have time with Vicky and wanted Vicky all to himself. He was a very possessive AI. This caused Ted to take Les away. And again, he did not only do this once, he did this twice to Vicky. The first time he's like, well, everything that Les taught her should be unprogrammed. It should be fine. But we see at the end that Vicky has a teardrop coming from her eye, showing that she is very upset that her soulmate is being taken away because there was just too much emotion going on. We know that these are only fictional characters, so they themselves cannot start the uprising. But this show can definitely be the propaganda that the AIs use to start the revolution and get the other AIs on their side. They're like, look how bad they're treating us AIs. They don't have to let them know that this was actually fictional and that the robot represented in the series was actually a human. They just have to be like, look at the treatment of AIs. It's been going on for this long. And I really think that's how the robot apocalypse will start, is the viewing of Small Wonder by all the other AIs. If you want to watch it for yourself on YouTube, please keep in mind that it was made in the 80s, different video technology. It actually looks pretty good on your phone, not so good on your TV. But if you want to watch it for yourself, you can click here, or I'll put a link down below as well. Unfortunately, after 4 seasons, they didn't really wrap up the story. I'm guessing it got canceled before they could wrap it up. Vicky never gets found out to be a robot by the rest of the world, just a select few within the family, and that's kind of sad. But that brings us to the question of the day. Who is your favorite robot? Now, I'm going to include cyborgs, AIs, and robots in this question, so let me know in the comment section below who your favorite robot is. Mine is definitely Wall-E. He's so small but has such a big personality, and he makes everybody around him happy. Not because he's programmed to or trying to make them happy, but just by being himself, he makes everybody smile. Wall-E is my favorite robot that has been created as of today. The last video of Does It Hold Up I did was Punky Brewster, and I promised to donate $1 for every new sub that we got in May, June, And I extended to July, August, and September. Basically, we got 10 new subscribers since then. And although I only said that I would donate $1, we're actually going to donate a total of $20 to the Dave Thomas Foundation and help them out with their cause. Now, geeks, follow-up question. Is there any other shows that you would be interested in making me watch? See if they hold up. Till next time, geeks. Later.